Regret, regret, regret. Catchy. Any idea what it means? Yes, it's a feeling of sadness, repentance, or disappointment over something that has happened or been done. It's also the name of this dude right here, the High Prophet of Regret, to be exact. He's an alien, a Saiyan Shayum, as his species is called. He's also known to be kind of a dick, which is why I, the Master Chief, have been tasked with his assassination. I've been tracking Regret for a while now, to no avail, but recent events have fortunately placed him right in my crosshairs. See, not long ago I received some inside information that the Prophet of Regret was planning a vacation. Coincidentally, he chose his vacation spot to be planet Earth, completely unaware that it's humanity's homeworld. When he arrived and saw it was inhabited by billions of humans, he said, and I quote, "Who the fuck are all these people? This spot was supposed to be chill. Whatever, it's not a big deal. Let's just kill them all." He then ordered his entire fleet of ships to invade Earth. However, after exterminating about half of the population, he realized that he didn't really want to be here anyway and decided to leave via subspace portal, incinerating a major metropolitan area in the process. Little did Regret know that me and my OGs followed his ship through the portal, where we tracked him down to this giant circle floating in outer space. He's just kinda chilling there for now, so this is our perfect opportunity to strike. But we'll need a strategy. A carefully executed plan of attack that will guarantee the maximum proficiency of our military assets and ensure we maintain a tactical advantage. Step 1. I don't actually have a plan, so fuck it, let's just drop in. I'll figure it out as we go along.
Any more noise?
Alright, we're here. We begin our adventure with most of the Marines already being dead. Only 7 of the 12 drop pods managed to land intact, which means that most likely the other 5 either exploded midair or completely missed the cliffside entirely and landed directly into that lake. Only 3 guys lasted longer than 5 seconds outside of their drop pod without dying. Not to worry though, these are Orbital Drop Shock Troopers, or ODSTs. Highly experienced veteran soldiers that... So, me and what's left of these special forces move in to eliminate the bastards who are guarding these random ruins in the middle of the forest. The area is cleared of all hostiles. Now the mission script wants us to stay here so we can hold out against waves of Covenant while we wait for one of our Pelican dropships to deliver us a Warthog. But I don't feel like doing that because A, defending a location for 5 minutes is boring as hell, and B, since I've played this mission at least once before, I have the secret knowledge of understanding that I can get a tank just down the road. It would be like me calling an Uber to drive me to my car that I parked a block away. Which I only ever do if I'm trying to convince my friends and or family that I'm not going to drive home drunk, but instead get a ride. My loved ones may concern over my safety and the safety of others, but they also don't know just how good I am at drinking and driving. You see that temple? You can go to that temple. In fact, that's exactly where Regret is hanging out at. As you can see from this map, it's going to be a long journey before we get there. But we got the first section over with, and now the next major objective is across this bridge right here in... Oh. Okay. It seems that the Covenant just raised the bridge in an attempt to stop me from crossing, and perhaps that would have worked if the bridge controls weren't conveniently on the same side that I'm on. Cool. Ah, here comes my tank. It's at this moment I will allow my Second Amendment-loving, Southern conservative alter ego to take over and give you the rundown on this vehicle.
Hell yeah, brother! I'd like to introduce you folk to the M808B main battle tank, better known as the Scorpion. This 66-ton behemoth is armed with a 90mm smoothbore high-velocity cannon with an M231 coaxial machine gun, highly effective against aerial targets. It's encased entirely in a thick-ass ceramic titanium armor plating capable of deflecting any projectile right back at the alien communist son of a bitch who made the mistake of firing it in the first place. This fine product of patriotic engineering is also compatible with neural interface technology that allows the user to both drive and operate the turrets using their thoughts alone. With this, I can quite literally make shit explode with my mind. I am utterly disgusted at the offer of taking that sissy-ass warthog over this Leviathan of Liberty. And I mean, if you really think about it, the warthog is basically just a futuristic technical. And since I don't associate myself with the space Taliban, I'm not even going to think about choosing that way too easily flippable pile of garbage over this flawless, unstoppable, apex predator of a killer machine.
I went back and got the Warthog because I remember just how fucking slow the tank is in Halo 2. So, while we go on this leisurely drive, I'd like to share a little backstory of our assassination target. The High Prophet of Regret is one of 3 hierarchs that run this thing called the Covenant Empire. It's just a bunch of extraterrestrial hooligans hell-bent on the destruction of all life in the galaxy. You know, petty shit. But before Regret became a High Prophet, he previously held the position of Vice Minister of Tranquility, though he was growing tired of being second in command of not giving a fuck. So he would soon conspire with the Minister of Fortitude, now known as the Prophet of Truth. They were both kinda jelly that they weren't High Prophets themselves, so they devised a plan to overthrow the High Prophets that were instated before them. See, these San Shayum motherfuckers, there's not a whole lot of them, so while inbreeding was a concern, they also didn't want to pass down any inferior genes. A system was put in place so that certain San Shayum with undesirable genetic traits would be blacklisted from smashing. Those who were on this blacklist were known to be part of the Roll of Celibates. One of the High Prophets at the time, the ironically named Prophet of Restraint, was on this list. And the first part of the plan that Truth and Regret divulged was for Regret to pose as a sympathizer for those who were unwillingly on this list, which included Restraint. The Prophet of Restraint would earnestly believe that Regret actually gave a shit about the plight of the virgins, but unlike them, he was just fucking around. So, in a move of desperation, the Prophet of Restraint approached Regret and was like, "Bro, I really need to nut in some sweet San Shayum Punani, but I possess beta male DNA, not to mention that the only hoes available are my direct relatives." So, Regret put his hand around Restraint's shoulder and was like, "Don't worry, bro. I got you. Go and get your nut, and since I'm not blacklisted, I'll pretend to be the father of your inevitably retarded children." Considering how down bad the Prophet of Restraint was at this time, he instantaneously agreed. And with that, the seed was planted. With the first phase of the plan completed, it would only be a matter of time before the next phase. What is the next phase, you ask? Well, wouldn't you like to know? The answer to what the next phase of the plan is something that will be revealed later, for I've run out of room to continue the leisurely drive, and I need to end this section of the story with the cliffhanger to maintain engagement. The path up ahead is too small for vehicular traversal, so we must continue on foot. We get a fresh new batch of guns and disposable Marines to take with us, the Marines operating with a questionable intelligence.
Chief, work the flanks.
Together, we move through these dilapidated ruins. And of course, there's Covenant here. I don't know why they're here, but they're here. Do they really need a reason? Of course not. They're video game antagonists. It's their job to be wandering around random locations for no discernible reason, waiting to be killed by the player. We come to this lusciously green canyon with a nice little stream running through it. This is probably my favorite location in the entire game. It's just so peaceful. I mean, the giant flying insects with guns are a little annoying, but other than that, it's a very relaxing environment. Somehow, one of the ODSTs landed way off course and died in this cave. I took his pistols in hopes that I could return them to his family as a memento. Wow, these pistols are complete garbage. I can see how he died. Honor guards. These cool-looking dudes are the Prophet's protectors. If I'm going to kill Regret, I'm going to have to face his elite guards as well. From watching me fight them, it may appear as if they're challenging foes to face, but they're really not. I'm just bad at the game.
What the fuck is wrong with this goddamn sword?
I'm not sure what this facility is for exactly, but as per usual, there's Covenant all over the damn place. Cortana, the blue holographic lady in my brain, theorizes that it might have been used by the Forerunners as some kind of university. Perhaps the Forerunners gathered here to learn about the arbitrary construction of random-ass buildings throughout the wilderness. I'm not sure. I didn't think too hard about it. I was infatuated with other things.
Female! 2 females!
The fuck is that sound? I believe it was at this point in the recording that I went to go take a shit, so I guess now is as good of a time as ever to continue telling the story of how Regret became a High Prophet. Last we left off, Regret had convinced Restraint with very little effort to go ahead and get it on with his sister, whom Restraint considered to be his true love. Any deformed offspring that was spawned as a result, Regret would ultimately take responsibility for. But Regret was only pretending to be the father of Restraint's children to later blackmail him into stepping down as a High Prophet, by threatening to expose him as the incestuous horn dog that he was. Regret was like, "I'm gonna tell everyone that you mated with a female." Restraint was like,
What? That would completely ruin my life.
and Regret was like, "Well, unless you step down as High Prophet, I'm gonna let everyone know that you're straight and that you get bitches." Restraint was like,
No! Please! Anything but that!
so, with no other options, Restraint reluctantly stepped down from his position in hopes that Regret would keep his mouth shut, but Regret thought it would be hilarious to tell everyone anyway, which he did. The narrative was formed in a way to expose all of the then current High Prophets, so that all were forced to step down, allowing Regret, Truth, and some other guy named Mercy to step in as new High Prophets. This would begin a new age for the Covenant Empire, and, okay, I'm back already. That was fast. I bet I didn't even wash my hands. Anyways, let's get out of here. This thing is called a gondola. It is one of many platforms that make up a good chunk of the sections in Halo 2 missions where the level designers ran out of time to properly build interesting combat arenas, and instead slapped together some geometry that the player is forced to wait on while it is scripted to slowly move from one location to another, all to artificially extend the estimated time to complete the mission in order to justify its inclusion in the first place. In other words, it's boring as shit.
You could have at least kissed me first.
This specific gondola is responsible for ferrying me across the lake to a facility designed to house a different transportation device, a submersible glass box elevator thing, which will bring me to an underwater structure that I'll have to fight through to the other end, where another one of these things will be waiting to transport me back to land, where I'll find a second gondola that I must use once more to ferry me across the lake to the main temple. Why there isn't just a single gondola going from the university to the temple, I don't know. In fact, I don't know why I'm even bothering to take this convoluted path to the temple in the first place. I could just board the Pelican that's been periodically dropping shit off and have the pilot fly me directly over there, but I guess fuck logic. Let's take the longest route we possibly can. Okay, I'm done bitching. Down we go to the depths below. Ow. Welcome to the Forerunner's cool underwater structure of ambiguous purpose, where an entire legion of sniper jackals is stationed.
Fucking snipers!
This room specifically is hell, and anyone who has played this section on the legendary difficulty knows just how irritating it can be, what with the combination of drones, honor guards, hunters, and, of course,
I hate you! I hate you so much, you fucking
I originally had more to talk about for this section, mostly questioning how a pair of hunters got in here despite clearly being too large to fit inside of the submersible elevators without it breaking. I think I put a dated Ocean Gate reference in there somewhere, but I don't know. It wasn't really that important, and I started running out of ideas for jokes, so let's just move on.
Regret's carrier just received a response from High Charity. A very well encrypted message from the Prophet of Truth. Listen to this.
No thanks, I don't care. I'm back on land, and yet again must kill the dudes here that are unfortunate enough to exist within my line of sight. For the final time, the Pelican pilot drops off some weapons and reinforcements, then says this.
This is my last run, Chief. I'm nearly out of fuel.
Well, Mr. Pilot, perhaps you wouldn't be nearly out of fuel if you brought me to where I needed to go from the beginning, instead of flying back and forth to drop shit off at random intervals throughout this mission. Do you know how many breedable women we've lost in this war because of decisions like these? So far, at least 2. Not that it matters to me, because despite what the Halo TV show would have you believe, the genetic augmentations that were forced upon me as a child in the process of becoming a Spartan have rendered me sexually impotent. Here's the second gondola. Time for another long intermission before we can finally fight Regret. Alright, let's kill this guy. There he is. My god, he's ugly. Time to give him a makeover.
No! No!
God damn it. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of honor guards. Some people believe that they respawn infinitely. These people are wrong, but there is still a shitload of them, so I can understand why they would think that. Though if I were to keep killing them, they would eventually stop respawning until I triggered the next wave by punching the fuck out of the Prophet again. And speaking of punching the fuck out of the Prophet again,
Take it out!
I'll give him this. He has one hell of a strong jaw to be taking punches to the face of the Master Chief repeatedly. Then again, Master Chief in Halo 2 punches with the same strength as I do when I'm trying to fight off my sleep paralysis demons. Okay, if he can just teleport around, why the fuck is he letting me punch him in the first place? I'm starting to think that this is some kind of gameplay feature implemented to a boss fight to make the encounter more fun and interesting for the player. Or perhaps the Prophet of Regret gets off from this sort of thing. I'm not sure. And he's dead. That was actually pretty easy. Now I just have to make like a banana and get the fuck out of here. Ah, shit. I knew they were gonna do that. Anyways, while I run away from this blue beam of death, I'm gonna give my prediction on what I think will happen now that Regret is dead. Seeing as he's one of 3 major leaders of the Covenant, it's likely that there will be a shift in power within the Empire. And since the elites, or Sangheili if you're a fucking nerd, had failed to protect the Prophet of Regret, a change in the Guard will be implemented, having the elites be replaced by the Wookiees of Kashyyyk instead, instigating a civil war within the Covenant, and spreading chaos across all of Tamriel. Shit, I'm almost out of space to run. Where's a gondola when you need one? Ah, screw it. Huh! Fuck! Forgot I can't swim. Well, this is just great. What the hell is that? Where are you taking me? No! 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 Stupid bitch. What happened to the other one? Ah, both my bitches died. Fuck. Well. Shit happens.